I have a company called Stone Village Pictures. We make movies based on books. The Human Stain, Empire Falls, Love in the Time of Cholera. Last year we did Penelope, which wasn't based on a book. I also do movies not based on books. We're currently doing a spoof comedy in Vancouver that starts next week. I'm doing an adaptation of a Russian novel called Master and Margarita in Russia. And we're also a partner in IPG, which is a management company that manages authors and writers that Larry is a partner in, who previously I wasn't aware he was here. And I'm a former real estate developer that got into the movie business. I don't know which is worse, real estate. But from a business standpoint, it's a very similar business. You know, putting deals together, and the movie business is the same as the real estate business. However, a very wealthy real estate developer gave me some great advice about the movie business that's different about the real estate business. He says this is the difference between real estate and movies, is that real estate, you build a building, you know you're going to have tenants, you know how you're going to get out of the deal. In the movie business, you get on a bus, you give them your money at the beginning of the bus ride, they throw you in the back of the bus, and you don't know where you're going or when you're getting out.
It's not really a good investment. Can you talk with us about that process, how you find a writer?
I mean, I usually buy books because I have a passion for books, and I grew up loving literature, and I read a lot as a kid. So to me, it's kind of like the real estate business. You buy the best piece of land. If you buy a big book, chances are, if it becomes a bestseller or prize-winning book, it's going to be made into a movie. So probably The Human Stain is a pretty interesting story, is that I had broken up with a girlfriend, and I went to the bookstore, and I picked up the book because it was one of the new books, and I sat down in the bookstore and read it, and I read the whole book in one sitting and said, my God, this is a movie. Somebody must be making it. And I found out the rights weren't taken, and I went in and bought the rights to the book. Empire Falls, which is a book that I had, Nobody's Fool was a fantastic movie, and I knew the author, Richard Russo. And I went into the bookstore and I saw Empire Falls by Richard Russo, and I said, I'm going to read that book and I'm going to really like it and buy it, so I'm not going to read it. So I stalked the book in the bookstore for 2 months, and it shot up to the New York Times bestseller list, and then I finally bought it and read it and made an offer and bought the rights, and 2 days later, on my cell phone, I get a call from Paul Newman, who said, I understand you just bought these rights, I want to do it. Will you come to New York and meet me?
Yeah, that happens to us all the time. So by now I would think that these publishers would be calling you up and saying, we have another book that we think is going to make it as a bestseller. Is that not happening?
Yeah, I get access to... I read a book 2 years ago in manuscript form called Lincoln Lawyer by Michael Conley, and I read it, and within 24 hours, 5 people were bidding on the book, and I ended up getting the rights, and now I made a deal with Sony, and I'm going to make it in the fall. And it became a bestseller. So, with books it's tricky because you have to... it's not tricky. The good part about books is you already know that there's characters and what the story and the plot are. And if it's a best-selling author or a big author, you're going to attract talent. And you get the best writers, the best directors, and the best actors. With a script, you have to do something that is, for me to read a script, it has to be really special. And it has to be something that I haven't seen before that's going to get everybody's attention. And I bought a script called Penelope, which is about a girl with a pig nose. And I immediately bought the script because it had a different twist to it. And it attracted big talent. And, you just never know. I mean, I bought a thriller. It was called Turistas, and it took place in Nicaragua. And I said, I don't want to go to Nicaragua and make a movie. And I told the writer, make it Brazil, and because I want to go to Brazil. And he changed it in 48 hours, and I bought the script. I optioned it for like $25,000 against a couple $100,000. And I got a director in a week, John Stockwell, and we started prep 3 weeks later. And we were filming in 3 months from the time I optioned it. And I told the writer, this has never happened in Hollywood, and it'll never happen to you again.
But good safety tip: find out where the producer wants to go.
Yes.
And by the way, thanks for Penelope. I took my 10-year-old daughter, and she loved it. It was life-changing for her. She had
I liked it too.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
So, okay.